inauguration of Senegal's next president will take place on Tuesday in the capital city of Dakar. The 44-year-old Bassirou Faye will be sworn in as the country's youngest president. ARISE Senior Correspondent Ohi Odiai is in Dakar ahead of the inauguration, and he joins us now on Newsday. Ohi, thank you for joining us. Can you give us
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Looking great all the way in Dakar. Can you give us an update on what is going on ground?
Well, I'm right now in central Dakar. We're counting the minutes, the hours to the inauguration of Africa's youngest president. And as you can see around the streets of Dakar, Senegal, it's a public holiday, but people are going around waiting anxiously for tomorrow's inauguration of the president. Remember, it's taking over from the incumbent, Macky Sall, and a lot of African presidents would be on ground for the presidential inauguration, including Nigeria's president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now let's begin to discuss some of the build-up to tomorrow's inauguration, the challenges before this president that's about to become the youngest so far in the history of Africa. Amadou Barry, a journalist based here in Dakar, Senegal, joins me right now. So, tomorrow is almost here. What's the build-up like to the inauguration?
Good afternoon, colleague. Good afternoon to your viewers. It's been, this so awaited date, has come for Senegalese almost of a week now since this election, in which, the opposition, the most strongest, opposition party has won. So tomorrow it will be very interesting because it's the inauguration day for the incoming president, and as you said, he is the youngest president in Africa, and he was elected, peacefully and democratically, which is very interesting in a sub-region where coup d'etat has become a play game. So tomorrow there would be two, according to information that we got, two ceremonies. The first one would be held in Diamniadio, that's the outskirts of Dakar, about 30 kilometers away from Dakar at the Abdou Diouf's International Conference Center. So the formal one would be, held there, and he will take oath, before the judges of the Constitutional Council, and from there he will come to the presidential palace, called State House here, and where he will, receive the handing over power from the outgoing president, which is Macky Sall. So two ceremonies in one day, and according to information that we got, the elected president wanted, in a very low-key manner, because he knows what is expected, and he was elected. It has surprised a lot here, because he just, he was locked up around for almost 1 year, and he was released just 10 days after he got elected. So for him, he wanted to be in a very simple ceremony, but there was, some challenges, because the outgoing president, he would like to use these days, as a farewell bid for his colleagues.
Okay.
So he wanted to be bigger. He invited almost 15 chief of states from Africa, especially from the sub-region, West Africa. But I think the two sides, have arranged now, so things goes on.
Okay, so the inauguration is almost here. Tomorrow he becomes the president. What are the critical challenges in front of him?
A lot of challenges, colleague. Senegal is facing a lot of, since, if you remember, since 2021, there was, there were several, tension here and riots, unrest here, that have killed almost, according to international NGOs, about 60 people here lost their lives during political turmoil. So Bassirou Diomaye Faye is inheriting a country, which is divided. You know, there were a lot of tension. Himself, he was victim of this political persecution. Him and Usman Sonko, both of them were locked up for over 1 year. That's the one. He has a duty to reconcile. I mean, to reunite. I mean, the Senegalese. The other challenges to me, which is the biggest one, is I mean, jobs. Jobs, how to find jobs for the youth here in this country. In this country, according to the latest survey conducted here, so that 75% of this country are youth. They are less than 35 years.
And they voted him in.
And they voted for him. So you can imagine they are expecting a lot getting job from here. And if you remember, since last year, about 40,000 people have left this country. Most of them are youths, through the back way, which is the illegal migration. They are expecting a lot from the newly elected president. The other challenges to me here in Dakar is the cost of living in Senegal, which is very costly. Dakar is very costly, and if you compare it with like Nigeria, Lagos, Abuja, there was a study that showed that Dakar is, if not the first, or is the second capital, is the most expensive capital city in Africa. So all these challenges should be fixed and addressed in a very short period, where the country maybe has some limited resources, but we are expecting with the discovery of oil and gas, the country would be economically stronger than these last years, where the country experienced a very challenging times here.
Okay, so final question: is a lawyer, a tax collector, now a president? Do you think he can deliver?
Is what Senegalese expect from him. I mean, as you know, he was criticized a lot during this campaign. He has never been elected. So Senegalese are expecting, and he has no excuse. He has no excuse. Many did not expect him that he would be able to qualify, because it's just a replacement candidacy, because the first plan was Usman Sonko, but when the party knew that he cannot contest, he cannot run in, so they put his name as a plan B. So you can imagine he was not expected to arrive here, so he has to deliver. To me, he has no excuse, but let's hope that he will have a strong team that will help him and surround him. As you say, he is a very well-educated person, even though maybe he lacks some experience, but maybe experience. There's no school where we learn to be president. So that is it. So Senegalese are expecting him to deliver, and as quick as possible. Yes.
Very, very valid point. Indeed, a lot of expectations for Faye as he becomes the next president of Senegal tomorrow. It's been a fairy tale so far, like I said earlier, from prison straight to the presidential palace. But then from tomorrow, the job begins. So the days ahead will prove if he's able to prove his mettle as the president of Senegal. It's back to you, Awa and Temi Tokwe.
ARISE Senior Correspondent Ohi Odiai, thank you so much.